Parkour is one of the world's newest sports. It's exciting, it's challenging, and it's visually appealing. It's not uncommon for videos to go viral on social media. But despite this, making a career in parkour is a real challenge. As a kid, I would always tell people that I wanted a career in parkour, and this was usually met with skepticism, negative comments, and discouragement. Making a career through parkour is a challenge, but 2 years ago, everything changed for me. I just packed in my full-time job. Parkour is now my full-time job, and how it happened is not how you would expect. So in today's video, we're going to look at my unique approach to a career in parkour. I'm also going to share my tips and insights into how you can make money with your passions. So I'm at the parkour gym today, and this is probably the best place for me to start with this video. Let's get the most obvious one out of the way first. This is a career path I feel a lot of people within parkour will probably take, and that is parkour coaching. I've been coaching parkour since 2017 with a company called Parkour, and through them I've managed to do my Parkour UK Level 1 and Level 2 qualifications, and a further CPD in parkour acrobatics as well. So when Parkour started, the sessions were running in a local gymnastics centre and at the outdoor parkour park. And it was only in 2018 that Traversal, which is this indoor gym, opened. Now, I'm incredibly lucky that I have a space like this only a stone's throw away from my house, but I know for a lot of people this isn't the reality. There's only a handful of parkour gyms in the UK, and this is because running a parkour gym and opening a parkour gym is incredibly stressful, it's very expensive, and it's very time consuming. So I think a lot of people romanticize the idea of becoming a parkour coach. I've spoken to a lot of people, and the vast majority say they want to run their own indoor parkour gym and they want to become a parkour coach because it means that they can train whenever they want. But I cannot reiterate the amount of work that has gone into getting this space. So Drew, who is the head coach here, has put in loads of work to get this company to where it is now. And it's not been without its hardships. So my recommendation to start parkour coaching is to get yourself onto a parkour coaching qualification. In the UK, there are loads of options for this. You have Parkour UK and you have the Adapt qualifications as well. But if you're based more worldwide, there are a couple of online coaching options for you as well. So once you've got your parkour coaching qualification, I recommend reaching out to your local council and trying to strike up a really good relationship with them. This is what we have with Crawley Borough Council, which is our local council, and it's proven to be a very, very beneficial relationship for us. I'd also recommend looking around, seeing what spaces are available. You might need to start in a gymnastics hall, you may need to start in a village hall or a school hall, and although parkour coaching is very draining and you do get tired and your motivation for training dips quite a lot, it is one of the most rewarding jobs that I've ever had. But it's not just coaching that I do for this company, and that leads me into the second way that I make money through parkour. So the second way that I make money through parkour is through social media marketing. Parkour lends itself quite well to creativity, and it's not uncommon for you to see people who practice parkour doing things like making videos or taking photos. So a few years ago, I did an apprenticeship in digital marketing, and I've kind of used the knowledge and the skills that I learned on that apprenticeship and applied it to parkour. I cannot stress this enough. If you're looking for work in parkour, pull on your outside skills. For me, I noticed that there are a lot of parkour coaching organizations that weren't fully utilizing social media. And through my apprenticeship, I learned that if you don't have a social media account, you are losing customers. So at Crawley Parkour, not only am I a coach, but I also do the vast majority of the social media and marketing stuff, which also includes website editing, email marketing campaigns, and just trying to ramp up our social presence. But I haven't just done this for Crawley Parkour, I've actually done it for a number of different UK parkour coaching organizations. And what that's meant is it's allowed me to be really creative in the sport that I love. So although this isn't practicing parkour or training parkour all the time, it is allowing me to still be really involved with the community. And it's also allowed me to travel to loads of different places and venues across the UK for parkour. I cannot stress this enough, really pull on your outside knowledge and experience and apply it to parkour. If you're good at social media, reach out to local parkour organizations and see if you can help them. Or better yet, start posting things online yourself. There are a few gaps in parkour at the moment, and no one is really filling them because most people want to focus on being a professional athlete or get professional work through parkour. Whereas if you really pulled on your outside knowledge and experience, you can start earning money through parkour. It's also allowed me to make so many new connections across the UK. So pull on your outside experiences. You have knowledge elsewhere. You don't just have to be the best athlete or be the best mover. Use your other knowledge in different fields. On the topic of social media, that takes me into number 3. So number 3 is social media. Now, I think what's really good nowadays is you can make money on social media without having the biggest following or without being the best athlete. So for me, I have 2 ways that I generate income through social media. The first is YouTube and the second is Instagram. I'm going to be honest, YouTube isn't making thousands. It's not enough to even support me part-time. But what it does mean is the content that I put out there is able to get monetized. I made a video a few years ago which got over 100,000 views and over 4,000 public hours of watch time, which helped me get monetized. At the end of last year, YouTube did actually actually lower its monetization requirements slightly, meaning that those with 500 subscribers, 3,000 public hours of watch time, or 3 million public shorts views are able to have some certain monetization options added to their YouTube channel. This would be things like super chat, super thanks, and memberships as well. To get monetization on your main long form YouTube videos, you need 4,000 public hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers. If you're looking to kind of grow on YouTube, I recommend checking out things like vidIQ and TubeBuddy, as those have been really useful for me to understand how YouTube works a little bit more. And although YouTube doesn't pay massive amounts of money to me, it does mean that I can get some lunch whilst I'm out training, or I can make a trip somewhere for a video. So the second one is Instagram, and this is where things get a little bit different. I don't make money through parkour on Instagram. I don't get paid to promote products, and I don't have any affiliate links or anything like that. But what I think is quite good is the parkour community is very interconnected. So if you post something on your social media, it's probably going to get seen by the wider parkour community. This has been incredibly beneficial for me because it links back to points 1 and 2. So I've run a few coaching workshops for people, and that's all come through Instagram. On this as well, I obviously run my personal Instagram account and my clothing account, and I've had people come to me through that say that they've seen some of the posts that I've done and they were wondering if I want to do any work for them. So although I'm not making loads of money through YouTube and I don't have any affiliate links or brands deals with Instagram or anything like that, it is still helping me generate a bit of income. Now, it's not going to be a quick process. You do need to work for it, you do need to put in the time and the effort, and you do need to do some further learning as well. But for me, being able to do this has allowed me to generate a little bit more of a safety blanket of income. So there are 2 more, so let's jump into number 4. So number 4 is clothing. Now, there are a few different recommendations for this. If you already have a little bit of a following, making some merch or making some clothing is a really good idea. But what if you're like me and you don't have a big following or a massive YouTube channel? I started a clothing brand called Contendant back in 2019. And although it was initially difficult to try and run a clothing brand in the parkour market, over the last few years, I have managed to build it up. Now with this, I don't actually take any money from clothing. Contendant is a community interest company, which means we operate for the benefit of the community. And our focus is around mental health and promoting mental health conversation and awareness within the parkour community. And because of this, any money that Contendant makes has to be reinvested back into the business. But over the next few years, I am looking at building this up and hoping that it will be able to pay me some kind of wage someday. Had I have not turned Contendant into a CIC a few years ago, I would have been able to take a little bit of money from the clothing and kind of pay myself. But over the last few years, my mental health hasn't been great, and I decided to change Contendant to a community interest company because I realized that other people out there may have needed help as well. There are a few ways to get into the parkour clothing market. If you've got a bit of disposable income, you can go to a printing company and you can get some t-shirts made, some hoodies, maybe some sweatshirts and joggers. Or if you've got some savings, you can look at working with a factory. However, if you are looking for low-cost options, there are loads of print-on-demand services out there. Services like Printify and Printful really offer a really good way to kind of step into that market. Again, this is another one that needs further research, because if your t-shirt costs you £10 and you're charging £15 for it, you're going to be making no profit. I've really been looking at this for Contendant over the last few years. There was a period of time where we were kind of just trudging along and losing a lot of money and not really fully utilizing profits. Whereas now I feel like the business is in a very good place and we are building things up slowly. So again, I don't actually make money from this one, but it is something that I'm working towards building in the future. Before Contendant was a CIC, I was able to take a little bit of profit from it, which again funded things like trips. It's a bit of a short one, that one, but let's move into my final one. So the final way that I make money through parkour is a bit of a unique one, and I understand it's probably not an opportunity a lot of people are going to get. So in the UK, we have a governing body for parkour called Parkour UK. And 2 years ago, they got some funding from Sport England, which meant they were hiring for new roles. And one of these roles was a digital support role. And this goes back to what I was saying a few points ago. Pull on your outside skills and knowledge and apply it to parkour. When the job advert went out for the digital role at Parkour UK, I realized that I had my previous knowledge and experience in social media and with my apprenticeship, and I decided to go for the job. So the job is full-time and it's not a full-time income, but what this job has allowed me to do is get the stepping stone into working with parkour. Without this job with Parkour UK, I probably wouldn't be in the position that I'm in now. But getting this job with Parkour UK has allowed me to learn so much about making an income through parkour. We've done a few projects like the Women's Engagement Project and the Podcast Project, which has highlighted to me that there is a need for that kind of content within parkour. And I know not every country has a governing body, but but I know some countries are starting to form one. And I know I'm speaking from an incredibly privileged and unique position here, but what I really wanted to reiterate with this point is you never know what's going to come up. If you're not actively searching for work in parkour, you're never going to find the parkour jobs. Being able to make an income from the sport that I've loved for the last 12 years has been brilliant. But I am continuously learning, I am continuing to adapt, and I am trying to improve each day. So to summarize, look for parkour jobs. You never know what's going to come up. Utilize your outside skills and apply them to the sport. Are you a business owner? Are you a graphic designer? Are you a sportswear designer? Are you a social media marketer? How can you apply that into parkour? Also, look at getting a parkour coaching qualification. You don't have to set anything up yourself, but you may find that there is a parkour coaching job for you somewhere. I know a lot of gymnastics organizations are currently looking for parkour coaches, not to teach parkour from a gymnastics standpoint, but to treat it as its own sport. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure you give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm looking at really developing this kind of content for parkour in the future. I've also launched a YouTube join, so you can join for 99p a month or for $3.99 a month, and you'll get all the videos early, plus some exclusive videos and exclusive behind the scenes content. I'd also be really interested to hear if you make money through parkour. And if you want a job in parkour, let me know down in the comments what you would like that job to be. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.